Have you ever stopped to wonder, what if everything they call love is nothing more than fear of being alone? What if the need to have someone is simply a disguise to avoid facing the emptiness within yourself? And what if what you call a relationship is just another way to run away from you? If this question hits home, if it makes you pause, hit that subscribe button and join the Stoic Ocean community. We dive deep into these truths that most people avoid, and we do it together. Nothing is closer to the truth than the discomfort we feel in solitude. That unease, that restlessness when you're alone with yourself. That's where the real answers hide. The Stoics urged us to imagine being on our deathbed, the room silent, the air heavy, the weight of your life pressing in on you, and to ask yourself, did you live your own life, or did you merely exist in the shadow of someone else's? The Stoics also warned us against surrendering our inner freedom. They reminded us that the chains we accept willingly are the hardest to break. We dress those chains in romance, in companionship, in the illusion of completion. We tell ourselves this is what love looks like, this is what life is supposed to be. But deep down, something burns, something tears at you, whispering that you were meant for more. That whisper knows you haven't fully lived yet. It knows you've been playing it safe, choosing comfort over truth, choosing someone else's path over your own. If you've ever felt that whisper, if you've sensed that truth hiding beneath the surface of your relationships, then you already know this conversation is for you. And if you seek the courage to face yourself without masks, to build a life rooted in your own strength, in your own sovereignty, then let's begin this journey. Because here's what most people don't want to admit. Most people don't fall in love because they've reached a place of wholeness. They fall because they're terrified of the silence that waits for them when the noise stops. That kind of silence forces you to hear your own thoughts. It forces you to confront the questions you've been avoiding for years. There's an empty space in their life, a space that feels too wide, too echoing, too raw. So they fill it with another person. Not always because they deeply want that person, but because it's easier than facing themselves. We rarely talk about how much of what we call love is simply a beautifully dressed form of avoidance. It's easier to get lost in someone else's stories, in someone else's emotions, in someone else's needs, than to confront our own. It's easier to focus on making someone else happy than to figure out what actually makes you happy. Carl Jung once wrote, "Loneliness does not come from having no people around you. It comes from being unable to communicate the things that seem important to you." And for many people, a relationship isn't a bridge to true connection. It's a shield from that loneliness, a way to pretend they are understood even when they've never truly understood themselves. The problem is, when love is rooted in fear, it becomes fragile. Every disagreement feels like a threat. Every moment of distance feels like a crack in the glass. The relationship starts to carry the impossible task of holding together not just two lives, but also the unresolved parts of each person. And when those cracks begin to show, panic sets in. People cling harder, they negotiate away their own values. They silence their desires and bend themselves into shapes that don't quite fit just to keep the other person from walking away. It's not love at that point. It's a survival tactic. It's a way to keep from being left alone with the very silence they've been running from. Marcus Aurelius reminded us, it is not death that a man should fear, but he should fear never beginning to live. And that's the quiet tragedy. So many people stop truly living once they're afraid of losing someone. When the foundation of love is fear, it keeps you from the very thing love is supposed to bring: freedom. A healthy love should allow you to stand taller, not shrink smaller. It should strengthen your individuality, not erase it. But when fear is in control, love becomes a contract of unspoken conditions. Don't be too much. Don't change too fast. Don't disturb the balance, even if that balance is quietly suffocating you. People convince themselves that this is normal, that this is the price of being with someone. But what they don't realize is that this price is far higher than they think. They're paying with their authenticity, their creativity, their growth. And all of it is traded for the comfort of not facing themselves. The irony is, the silence they're running from is not their enemy. It's their teacher. In solitude, the noise fades and you begin to hear your real voice again. At first, it's uncomfortable. You hear doubts, you hear fears, you hear regrets. But if you stay with it long enough, you also hear your values, your calling, your truth. This is where the real transformation begins. Not in finding someone to complete you, but in becoming complete yourself. This is where we're going. This is where we're going next. Because once you understand how you've been losing yourself, in relationships, you can start to take it back. The process of losing yourself in relationships is subtle. It's almost invisible at first. You compromise on small things. Where to eat, what to watch, how you spend the weekend. It feels harmless. It feels like partnership. Like this is what good relationships are about. Give and take, compromise and understanding. But then the compromises grow. You hold back parts of yourself because you know they won't understand. You stop pursuing certain dreams because they create tension. You start adjusting your personality, not because you want to, but because you're afraid that being your full self might cost you the relationship. Over time, the person you were becomes harder to recognize, even to yourself. You look in the mirror and you wonder, where did that person go? The one who had big dreams, the one who spoke up, the one who wasn't afraid to be different. Marcus Aurelius reminded us, it is not death that a man should fear, but he should fear never beginning to live. And that's exactly what happens. So many people stop truly living once they're afraid of losing someone. They stop taking risks. They stop pursuing passions. They stop being who they were meant to be. When the foundation of love is fear, it keeps you from the very thing love is supposed to bring: freedom. A healthy love should allow you to stand taller, not shrink smaller. It should strengthen your individuality, not erase it. But when fear is in control, love becomes a contract of unspoken conditions. Don't be too much. Don't change too fast. Don't disturb the balance. Even if that balance is quietly suffocating you. People convince themselves that this is normal, that this is the price of being with someone, that everyone goes through this, that losing parts of yourself is just part of growing up, part of being in a relationship. But what they don't realize is that this price is far higher than they think. They're paying with their authenticity, their creativity, their growth. They're paying with the person they could have been, the life they could have lived, the dreams they could have chased, and all of it is traded for the comfort of not facing themselves, of not being alone, of having someone to distract them from the silence they're so afraid of. The tragedy is they think they're building a life together, but really they're just building a life that's smaller than it could have been, a life that's based on fear, not on freedom, on shrinking, not on growing. This is the cost, the hidden cost of relationships built on fear, and it's a cost that most people never fully acknowledge until it's too late, until they look back and realize they've been living someone else's life, not their own. But here's the thing, it doesn't have to be this way. There's another way, a way that doesn't require you to shrink yourself to fit into someone else's life, a way that allows you to grow, to expand, to become more, not less. And that way starts with understanding what you're really trading when you choose to belong. The cost of belonging is real, and it's not just about time and energy. It's about giving away pieces of yourself, your voice, your vision, your unique way of seeing the world, your dreams that don't fit into someone else's plan, your ideas that challenge the status quo, your authenticity that makes some people uncomfortable. When you choose to belong, to fit in, to be part of something, you start to give away these pieces. Not all at once, not in big dramatic gestures, but slowly, subtly, almost without noticing, until one day you look at yourself and you realize you've given away more than you kept. But here's something remarkable that happens when you choose to belong to yourself first. Something remarkable happens when you begin to belong to yourself. In that moment, something shifts. The cost of belonging to others starts to feel too high, because you've tasted what it feels like to belong to yourself. And once you've tasted that, you don't want to go back. Staying single doesn't mean rejecting love or connection. It doesn't mean you're broken or incomplete or afraid of commitment. It means refusing to trade your essence for them. It means refusing to shrink yourself to fit into someone else's life. It means choosing to honor who you are, even if that means standing alone. When you choose to belong, it will be on your terms, as your whole self. Not as a smaller version, not as a compromise, not as someone who gave away too many pieces, but as you, fully, completely, without shrinking to fit. Belonging is sweetest when it doesn't come at the expense of who you are, when it adds to you rather than subtracts from you, when it amplifies your voice rather than silences it, when it encourages your growth rather than limits it. Carl Jung spoke about the privilege of a lifetime, the privilege of becoming who you truly are. You cannot do that if you're always drowning in someone else's presence, if your every thought is shaped to keep the peace rather than to find your own center. The fear behind love is rarely about losing another person. More often, it's about losing the distraction they provide. When you remove that distraction, you're left with yourself. And for many, that's the scariest encounter of all. But this is the encounter that changes everything. Because once you can sit in your own silence without needing to escape it, you stop depending on others to make you feel whole. You stop negotiating away your identity for the sake of belonging. You begin to love by choice, not by necessity. And that is the kind of love that cannot be broken by absence or distance. Because it's not built on fear, it's built on freedom. Choosing to face the silence is not easy. It takes courage to stop reaching for someone just to avoid yourself. But that courage is the foundation of a life where love becomes a gift, not a crutch. Where being with someone is a deliberate decision, not an unconscious escape. Where you can walk away from what doesn't serve you, not because you don't care, but because you care too much about not abandoning yourself. This is where the real transformation begins. Not in finding someone to complete you, but in becoming complete yourself. And once you're complete, once you belong to yourself, something beautiful happens. You start to see the power of solitude. When you strip away the constant hum of other people's voices, something unexpected rises in its place. The kind of quiet that feels almost too loud. At first, it's uncomfortable. You notice thoughts you didn't realize were there. Ideas buried under conversations, buried under obligations, buried under the steady pull of someone else's presence. These thoughts, these ideas, they've been waiting for you to give them space, waiting for you to stop drowning them out with noise, with distraction, with the need to be understood by someone else. As days or weeks pass, the clarity deepens. You begin to hear your own voice with more precision. Your ideas stretch further. They become bolder. The world inside you begins to expand. And you realize you had no idea how much space was being taken up by other people's voices. Carl Jung said, "Who looks outside dreams. Who looks inside awakes." Solitude forces that awakening. It's not optional. When you're alone, truly alone with yourself, you can't avoid what's inside. You can't hide behind someone else's expectations. You can't pretend you're someone you're not. Marcus Aurelius reminded us, you have power over your mind, not outside events. In solitude, that truth becomes undeniable. You stop outsourcing your validation. You stop outsourcing your direction. You stop outsourcing your worth. They start coming from inside out, from you, from your own knowing, from your own center. The more time you spend in this space, the more it changes you. You discover that not all thoughts need to be drowned out. Some of them are actually worth listening to. Some of them are actually your truth, your calling, your path. Solitude begins to shift from uncomfortable to addictive, not because you want to avoid people, but because you've tasted freedom. The freedom to think your own thoughts, the freedom to feel your own feelings, the freedom to be who you are without explanation, without apology, without compromise. This is where the real work happens, not in relationships where you're constantly negotiating, compromising, adjusting, but in solitude where you can finally be fully yourself, where you can finally hear your own voice, where you can finally discover what you really want, what you really value, what you're really meant to do. The Stoics understood this. They knew that the greatest freedom comes from within, from knowing yourself so deeply, so completely, that no external circumstance can shake your foundation, that no absence can make you feel incomplete, that no relationship can define your worth. This is the power of choosing solitude, not as a punishment, not as isolation, but as a choice, a deliberate, conscious choice to belong to yourself first, to know yourself first, to love yourself first, so that when you do choose to be with someone, it's from a place of wholeness, not need, from a place of abundance, not scarcity. And that changes everything, because when you come from that place, you bring something different to relationships. You bring yourself fully, completely, without needing to be completed, without needing to be validated, without needing to be saved. And that's when relationships become what they're meant to be. Not a crutch, but a complement. Not a necessity, but a choice. Not a way to escape yourself, but a way to share yourself with someone who also knows who they are. But before we get there, there's something else we need to understand. Something that's been programmed into us from the very beginning. There's a peculiar kind of energy that comes from being alone, on your own terms. It's not isolation, born of rejection or loss. It's chosen, deliberate, rooted in self-respect. And when you experience it, you realize how much of your life was built around reaction. Reacting to someone else's mood, reacting to someone else's needs, reacting to someone else's plans. Your energy gets pulled in different directions. You're managing another person's emotions before exploring your own. You're tempering your excitement or holding back your ideas because you're not sure how they'll be received. But when you're alone, truly alone by choice, your energy is directed toward creation, not reaction. You're not managing anyone else's emotions. You're not adjusting your plans to fit someone else's schedule. You're free to pursue an idea until it's fully formed without interruption. You can start something at midnight, stop to follow a new thought without explaining yourself to anyone. Time feels different. It stretches. There's openness for deeper work. You realize how much energy you were spending maintaining the balance of a shared life, and that energy is now yours. Yours to invest where it matters most. Yours to direct toward your own growth, your own dreams, your own becoming. The Stoics see this as aligning with nature, as living according to your inner compass. Not the compass someone else gave you, not the compass of society's expectations, but your own knowing, your own truth. This doesn't mean solitude is a constant stream of inspiration. There are days when the quiet feels heavy. There are moments when you miss connection. But even that weight has meaning. Even that discomfort is teaching you something about yourself, about what you really need, about what you're really capable of. Eventually, the space that solitude creates stops feeling like a void, starts feeling like home. You realize you're not alone, you're with yourself. And when you're with someone who knows who they are, who's comfortable in their own company, that changes everything. The truest connections grow richer when they grow from this foundation. When both people can stand alone, they can stand together without losing themselves, without needing to complete each other, without needing to save each other. They can simply enjoy each other, support each other, grow together, because they're already growing individually. They're already complete individually. And that makes the connection so much more powerful, so much more real, so much more free. This is the energy that comes from sovereignty, from knowing yourself so deeply that you don't need external validation, from belonging to yourself so completely that you can choose to belong to others without losing yourself. But there's one more thing we need to address, one more myth we need to break, a myth that's been programmed into us from the very beginning. If what we've explored so far resonates with you, I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments below. What part of this hit home for you? What have you noticed about your own relationships, about your own fears? And if you're finding value in this conversation, consider subscribing to Stoic Ocean. We dive deep into these truths about living with wisdom, living with freedom, living as your whole self. Hit that subscribe button and join a community of people who refuse to abandon their own souls. People who choose to belong to themselves first. And don't forget to hit that like button if this is resonating with you. It really helps the channel, and it helps me know what content serves you best. Now let's continue, because there's one more myth we need to break. A myth that's been programmed into us from the very beginning. From the earliest stories we've been told, there's a promise. Somewhere out there exists a person who will complete us. In fairy tales, in songs, in movies, the message is clear. You're not whole until you find your other half. You're incomplete until you find the missing piece. But beneath that comforting surface lies a subtle, dangerous belief. A belief that on your own, you are incomplete. That you're not enough just as you are. That you need someone else to make you whole, to make you valid, to make you real. When you accept that belief, you live as though your worth depends on someone else. Every action is weighed against the hope of attracting or keeping another person. Every choice begins to orbit around the possibility of being chosen, of being enough. You adjust your ambitions. You downplay parts of your personality. You make yourself smaller, more palatable, more acceptable. Over time, your identity becomes less about what feels true, more about securing connection, less about who you are, more about who you think they want you to be. This isn't love, it's dependence, disguised as devotion. Dependence slowly erodes your individuality. It offers a false sense of security, but the price is your freedom. The price is yourself. Epictetus said, if you want to be free, then wish for nothing that depends on others. Freedom doesn't grow in the soil of dependence. It grows in the soil of self-sufficiency, in knowing that you are enough just as you are, that you are whole just as you are. Marcus Aurelius reminded us, very little is needed to make a happy life. It is all within yourself. The myth of incompleteness hides this truth. It tells you you need something you don't have, someone you haven't met, some external thing to make you happy, to make you complete. But the real truth is simpler and far more liberating. You are whole, you are complex, you are capable, you are enough. Right now, just as you are, without anyone completing you, without anyone validating you, without anyone saving you. Breaking free from this myth doesn't mean rejecting relationships. It means approaching them from a place of self-sufficiency rather than need, from a place of wholeness rather than incompleteness, from a place of choice rather than desperation. When you no longer see yourself as a fragment waiting to be completed, love becomes a choice, not a dependency. You are not half of anything. You are whole, complex, capable being. And when you live from that place, everything changes. You stop making yourself smaller to fit into someone's life. You stop abandoning your dreams to keep someone happy. You stop trading your essence for the illusion of completion, because you realize you're already complete. You're already whole. You're already enough. And when you know that, when you really know that, you can choose relationships from a different place, a place of abundance, not scarcity, a place of freedom, not fear, a place of wholeness, not incompleteness. This is where true connection begins, not from need, but from wholeness, not from incompleteness, but from completeness. True connection can only occur when both individuals have confronted their inner world, when they've faced themselves in full, their flaws, their strengths, their unrealized potential, rather than using each other to avoid it, rather than using each other as a distraction from the work they need to do on themselves. Carl Jung understood this dynamic well. He knew that the deepest connections come from people who have done the inner work, who know themselves so deeply that they don't need someone else to complete them. They simply choose to share their completeness with someone else who is also complete. Choosing wholeness can feel lonely at first. Without the immediate validation of a relationship, you face yourself in full. You see your flaws clearly. You see your strengths clearly. You see your potential clearly. And that's the work most people avoid. That's why dependence can be so tempting. It's easier to focus on someone else than to focus on yourself. But once you build a life that feels complete, on its own terms, something changes. Fear of being alone starts to fade, because you realize you're not alone, you're with yourself. And when you're comfortable with yourself, being alone doesn't feel like punishment. It feels like choice. It feels like freedom. Self-worth stops swinging with the moods or opinions of others. It becomes steady, reliable, rooted in something that can't be taken away. Rooted in yourself, in your own knowing, in your own truth. Relationships you form aren't built to fill a void. They're built to share abundance. They're built because you want to, not because you need to, because you choose to, not because you have to, because you're complete and you want to share that completeness with someone else who is also complete. The myth of incompleteness is powerful because it's repeated so often in movies and songs and stories. But the real truth is simpler and far more liberating. You are whole. You are complex. You are capable. You are enough. The more you live from that place, the less you'll tolerate connections that require you to shrink. The less you'll accept relationships that ask you to abandon yourself. The less you'll settle for love that's built on fear rather than freedom. You'll stop treating love as an antidote to existence. You'll start seeing it as a complement to it. In that shift, dependence loses its hold. Individuality returns to its rightful place, and love becomes what it's meant to be: a choice, a gift, a complement, not a necessity, not a crutch, not a way to escape yourself. This is the foundation for relationships that actually work. Relationships built on wholeness, not incompleteness, on freedom, not fear, on choice, not need. And when you build from that foundation, you create something that can't be broken by absence or distance, because it's not built on external validation. It's built on internal strength. This is sovereignty. This is freedom. This is what it means to belong to yourself so completely that you can choose to belong to others without losing yourself. Sovereignty is not about isolation. It's not about rejecting connection. It's about building a foundation that can't be taken away. A foundation that exists within you regardless of who's in your life or who's not. When you belong fully to yourself, no connection can take that away. No absence can strip you of it. No relationship can define your worth, because your worth comes from within. It's not dependent on external validation. It's not dependent on someone else choosing you. Building this foundation from within means you're never truly alone. Even in solitude, you're in the company of someone worth knowing, yourself. And when you're comfortable with that company, you can choose to share it with others without losing yourself, without needing to be saved, without needing to be completed. Staying single by choice is a declaration of self-worth. It's a statement that you don't need external validation to exist, that you don't need someone else's desire to prove your value, that you are enough just as you are, right now, in this moment, without anyone completing you. This sovereignty becomes an attractive quality. People are drawn to those who stand alone, not from bitterness, but from strength, not from fear, but from freedom, not from incompleteness, but from wholeness. When you no longer need a relationship, you can have one worth having, because you're coming from a place of choice, not desperation, from a place of abundance, not scarcity, from a place of wholeness, not incompleteness. Marcus Aurelius reminded us, you have power over your mind, not outside events. This is the power of sovereignty, the power to know who you are, regardless of external circumstances, the power to stand alone without feeling incomplete, the power to choose connections that serve you without needing them to survive. Freedom, once tasted, becomes non-negotiable. You become someone who can stand alone. And because you can stand alone, you can stand with others without losing yourself, without shrinking to fit, without abandoning your essence. This is the paradox of true freedom. The more you belong to yourself, the more you can belong to others. The more complete you are individually, the more you can create completeness in connection. The more sovereign you are, the more you can choose sovereignty in relationships. The Stoics understood this. They knew that inner freedom is the only freedom that can't be taken away. That self-reliance is the foundation for everything else. That belonging to yourself is the prerequisite for belonging to others in a healthy way. This is what it means to stay single by choice, not as a rejection of love or connection, but as a declaration of your own sovereignty, as a commitment to yourself, as a choice to belong to yourself first, so that when you do choose to belong to others, it's from a place of strength, not weakness, of freedom, not fear, of wholeness, not incompleteness. And that changes everything, because when you come from that place, you bring something different to life. You bring yourself fully, completely, without apology, without compromise, without abandoning your own soul. This is the freedom the Stoics spoke about, the freedom that comes from within, the freedom that, once claimed, makes every other connection richer, deeper, truer. Because it's not built on need, it's built on choice, not on fear, but on freedom. So here's what we've explored today. Staying single by choice is not a rejection of love. It is a declaration of your own sovereignty. It's about building a foundation that can't be taken away, a foundation that exists within you, regardless of who's in your life. When you belong fully to yourself, connections become richer. They become deeper. They become truer, because they're not built on need, but on choice, not on fear, but on freedom, not on incompleteness, but on wholeness. You don't need external validation to exist. You don't need someone else's desire to prove your value. You are whole. You are complex. You are capable. You are enough, right now, just as you are. Freedom, once claimed, makes every other connection deeper and truer, because it's not built on desperation, it's built on sovereignty, on knowing yourself so deeply that you can choose to share yourself with others without losing yourself. The Stoics taught us that inner freedom is the only freedom that can't be taken away, that belonging to yourself is the foundation for everything else, that when you choose to belong on your terms as your whole self without shrinking to fit, you create a life that's truly yours. This is the message I want to leave you with. You are not half of anything. You are whole. You are complete. You are enough. And when you know that, when you really know that, everything changes. You stop making yourself smaller to fit into someone's life. You stop abandoning your dreams to keep someone happy. You stop trading your essence for the illusion of completion because you realize you're already complete. You're already whole. You're already enough. And when you live from that place, you can choose relationships from a different place, a place of abundance, not scarcity, a place of freedom, not fear, a place of wholeness, not incompleteness. If this conversation has resonated with you, if it sparked something inside you, I'd love to hear your thoughts. Drop a comment below and let me know what part of this hit home for you. What have you noticed about your own relationships, about your own fears, about your own journey towards sovereignty? And if you're finding value in this conversation, if you want more of this kind of content, hit that subscribe button and join the Stoic Ocean community. We dive deep into these truths about living with wisdom, living with freedom, living as your whole self. We explore what it means to belong to yourself first, to know yourself deeply, to live from a place of inner strength, not external validation. Don't forget to hit that like button if this resonated with you. It really helps the channel and it helps me know what content serves you best. And if you know someone who needs to hear this, share this video with them. Because sometimes the most important message is the one we're afraid to say out loud. But here's the thing, the truth is liberating. Knowing that you're whole just as you are is liberating. Choosing to belong to yourself first is liberating. And when you taste that liberation, you don't want to go back. So choose yourself, choose wholeness, choose sovereignty, choose freedom, because you are worth it. You are enough. You are whole right now, just as you are. Thank you for watching. Thank you for being here. Thank you for choosing to belong to yourself. I'll see you in the next video.